Hello everybody, it's Lynn Slay, and I'm coming at you with another video about these like online guitar course type things. I know I did Simply Guitar a few months back, but I noticed that Ultimate Guitar just, I guess, I want to say it was like 2 months ago, they started doing these courses where you could learn some stuff about guitar. I kind of wanted to take a look at it and see what it was all about, because I don't know, sometimes I see that stuff and I get like super curious about it. But yeah, I don't really know what this is all about. I'm gonna try it out for a month and see if it's worth paying for. So if you're interested, go ahead and keep watching. I'm excited to see what I can find to work on this month in Ultimate Guitar. I was kind of briefly looking through it before I started working on this video, and I think I'm gonna go through this week and check out some of the skill work they have on there, because like I know for me, I don't generally enjoy doing scales and stuff, but I know they're super helpful, and I always have been like curious to know like where everything is on the fretboard. So I'm hoping maybe this will give me a better idea of where everything is on the fretboard and maybe start helping me do some improv work. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into it.
In this video, we're going to do a quick overview of left hand and right hand technique. Just some things to keep in mind while you're practicing. So for the left hand, for the most part, we're going to keep our thumb in the middle of the neck. We're not going to have any of this. There are times where you'll do sweep picking and it'll be all downstrokes or it'll be all upstrokes or whatever. But while you're practicing and getting your speed and your technique up, alternate picking. Down, up, down, up, down, up. In the right hand, you can use the joints in your first finger and your thumb to get all kinds of motion. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and... And now, 16th notes. 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a.
That's gonna take work.
And then triplets. Triplet, 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 triplet.
Alright, so that is everything I'm gonna do on that today. So day one actually wasn't too bad. It just kind of gives you a little introduction on what you're doing. Tells you pretty much how to hold the guitar, which is probably a really good thing, especially if you're just starting out. But I think that's the second scale I've ever learned. So I'm really looking forward to working on that some more. It was pretty easy to follow, really simple, and I really liked it. Yeah, I'm gonna have to go through and really work on making sure I've got that scale dedicated to muscle memory there before I'm really able to play it super fast or play it in any like 16th notes or triplets, because yeah, if you don't have the scale kind of memorized and know where you're going first, it's really hard to start putting a rhythm to it, like a fast or complex type of rhythm to it. So alright, I will see you guys as soon as I have an update. It has been 2 weeks since I did that first lesson in Ultimate Guitar for the G major scale in the first position, and then a week later I did the G major scale in the second position. And to be honest, I was hoping I would have some more footage to show you of me actually doing the lessons within Ultimate Guitar, but I'm gonna be honest, they're all pretty much the same. I know when you start a lesson plan, it'll give you a list of things you should expect to learn within that lesson plan, and then a list of basic things you should already know before starting the lesson plan. The first couple lessons I did were, learning the G major scale in the first and second position, and then I just worked on those long enough to actually get them dedicated to my muscle memory. And I gotta say, there really isn't a whole lot to show you guys, or I guess a lot of variation in the lessons to show you guys. It's very straightforward and to the point. It'll say, this is what you're learning, here's how you should work on it, and now go do it. And I never found anything very difficult to follow. So I kind of just wanted to go over with you guys what I thought of the lesson plans within Ultimate Guitar. I know I said I was going to do it for 30 days, but kind of like I was saying, there's really not a whole lot to show you guys about these lesson plans, so I'll go ahead and let you guys know what I think. One of the first things I liked about the lessons in Ultimate Guitar is, you know, if you're a beginner, it gives you the information you need to get going. Like the very first lesson I did, it said, hey, when you're playing these scales, you want to keep your thumb, you know, centered on the back of the neck of the guitar. You don't want to be reaching over with your thumb. And I was like, okay, so yeah, some basic beginner information that if you've never played guitar before, like, it's good to have. But what I really liked about it is as I continued to go through that lesson plan, is it never continued to treat me like I didn't know what I was doing. It always assumed that I had some skill level to what I was doing. I know me, being an experienced guitar player, and I say experienced lightly, I've been playing for close to a year and a half. The problem I have with a lot of these online guitar lessons is they assume that everyone's a beginner. I've tried Simply Guitar and Musician, and with both of those, even though I told the app that I had experience playing the guitar, it treated me like I was a beginner, and it gave me from like the very basics. This is how you hold a guitar, this is the first chord, this is, you know. And for me, I didn't like those apps because I already knew all of that. I never felt like I was continuing my knowledge. But with Ultimate Guitar's lesson plans, yeah, it gave you some basic beginner info, but it never held you back. It always expected you to know the basics of how to play the guitar, which I have to say really helped me to learn a couple of new scales, or I guess a new scale in you know, the second position for that scale. Another thing I liked about Ultimate Guitar's lessons is they were very easy to follow. I never felt like I was being rushed. I never felt like they were taking too long. I always felt like they gave me exactly what I went into the lesson to learn. On top of that, the lessons never felt like they were too long. It was very, very basic, like with the, I spent most of my time learning scales doing this, but within those lessons, they did a very good job of saying, okay, so on your thick E string, you're gonna play these notes, and so on, and then they'd walk you through the entire scale going down, and then back up. So you'd always get a really good idea of what you're doing, and that was honestly the lesson. It was, on this string you play these notes, on this string you play these notes. And then it would say, this is how you should practice it, and that would be it. You'd go off and you'd go work on it, and as soon as you felt good enough to do it, you'd go into the next lesson. It was all based on you as a guitar player and how much time you were interested in putting into the skill. I liked that feature with their lesson plan over, you know, these other apps that say will teach you guitar, because I never felt like I was playing guitar video games. It was just what I needed to know, and it was on me as a player to do what I needed to do to retain that knowledge. A third thing I really liked about these lessons is that when starting a lesson plan, like I stated before, it would tell you what the course goals were, like what they wanted to teach you, but then they'd also let you know like what type of player the course was going to be for. And when I say what type of player, I'm not necessarily saying like what type of skill level you should be, whether you're a beginner, intermediate, and so on. It was more like, hey, you're looking at starting this course, you should be able to do these basic things before going into these lessons. And I gotta say, everything that I worked on, like I said, I did some chords and arpeggios and scales, but within those lessons, I never found anything that I couldn't handle as a player, and it kind of just required the basics of being able to play chords and some individual notes on the strings. So I guess the fourth and final thing I liked about doing these lessons in Ultimate Guitar is that my tabs and my lessons were all on the same platform. All I had to do was grab my iPad or my iPhone and sign into my account on Ultimate Guitar, and everything I was working on was right there. Any tabs for songs I was working on were there, and any lessons that I was also working on within the app were right there, ready for me to open up and continue learning from. In regards to liking everything being just in one place to work on, I know it's quite common that some people have a hard time figuring out what to work on when they pick up the guitar to practice every day. And I've fallen, victim to this before, where it's time to practice your guitar, you get home and you're sitting there and you're like, okay, well, what do I want to work on? And then you spend all this time just trying to figure out what you want to work on. And so having everything just under one roof within the app is amazing. You just hop over to lessons and you've got, you have so much to choose from to work on that it would be almost impossible to not have a successful practice day. You could work on learning music by ear, you can work on your scale, you can work on arpeggios, there's stuff in there for beginners, there's stuff in there for more advanced players, and then after that you can hop over and work on a song you want to learn, or vice versa. It doesn't leave a lot of room for you to get lost in the endless cycle of what do I want to work on, and then you've wasted your practice time. For the question everyone's been waiting for, would I recommend learning guitar from this app? Out of all the online platforms I've come across for learning guitar, this has got to be the best one. There was no weird gimmicky mini games where it would teach you how to play a chord and then you had to go through and play a song where all you were doing was strumming the G chord. I felt during these lessons they did a very good job of portraying the material you were learning. I rarely ever found myself getting lost. I found the lessons to be very easy to follow, and there are lessons targeted towards beginners, so you can build a good foundation. No, I didn't try any of the beginner lessons because when I decided to try these lessons, I was looking at this from more of a perspective of someone who's been playing for a while and is just wanting a little more technical knowledge of where things are laid out on the guitar neck. So like where the notes are, where all the different areas for chords can be, and things like that. And for me, my questions were answered. I did learn a lot, and I was pretty impressed. For, I paid $10, or to be exact, $9.99 for 1 month just to try this out. I have to say, I felt like I got my money's worth from these lessons. Like, I learned exactly what I went there to learn, and I think if I had to choose again another online learning platform, I would go with these guys again, because to me, it was all based off of my ability to actually sit down and practice the guitar. They didn't use anything special to entice me to learn. It was just, here's the tools you need, go learn. So that was my experience doing these lessons through Ultimate Guitar. I know I didn't show very much footage of me actually working on these lessons, but there really wasn't much there to show. It was very, very to the point, and there wasn't a whole lot of room for demonstrating anything. It's like, I guess I could have showed you a little bit more of the videos about the actual lessons themselves, but I don't know, it was just a very easy, I want to work on this, here's the video lesson for that, and be on your way. If there's anything you want to know about these lessons, go ahead and comment them down below for me, or if there's anything I didn't go over that you wish I would have, go ahead and comment about that too, and I'll do my best to get back to you guys. So I guess I'll be seeing you guys in the next video. Bye!